The worst betrayal isn't when they fire you. It's when they smile, shake your hand, and thank you for building the very machine they're about to use to replace you. 3 years. 3 birthdays I barely celebrated. 3 Christmas mornings answering emails from a glowing laptop on the kitchen table. I built that department from a blank whiteboard and a broken swivel chair in a dusty corner office. There was nothing there, just flickering fluorescent lights and an empty filing cabinet. I designed the systems, wrote the processes, interviewed the staff, trained them from scratch in a cramped meeting room that smelled like burnt coffee and printer ink. I stayed late, long after the cleaners vacuumed around my desk. I believed I was building something that mattered, and maybe I was, just not for me. The day they called me into the glass conference room, the sky outside was painfully blue. I remember that detail. Sunlight hitting the polished oak table. A bottle of mineral water placed neatly in front of me like a prop. We're moving in a different direction. That's what they said. Moving in a different direction. Like I was an old office chair they no longer needed. Like my name was just another line item in a spreadsheet. Redundant. That word feels clinical. Harmless. Like expired milk. But when it hits you, it's violent. It's walking back to your desk in silence while your team pretends not to look at you. It's packing framed certificates into a cardboard box. It's the hollow sound your footsteps make in a hallway you once owned. The people I trained, the ones I coached through their first client calls, they took over my role the following week. I saw the announcement on LinkedIn. Excited to step into this leadership position. My leadership position. I was frickin' pissed off. Not the loud, throw a chair kind of angry. The quiet kind. The kind that sits in your chest at 2 a.m. while you stare at the ceiling fan spinning shadows across the bedroom. Anger can rot you, or it can forge you. For a few weeks, I let it rot. I replayed every conversation, every handshake, every fake "we value you." I felt stupid, naive, replaceable. Then something shifted. One rainy afternoon, sitting at a small wooden desk in my spare bedroom, I opened my laptop and started drafting something new. A business plan. My business plan. If they were moving in a different direction, fine. So would I knew the systems. I knew the clients. I knew the gaps in the market because I had patched them myself for 3 years. I wasn't starting from zero. I was starting from experience. Those first months were brutal. No steady paycheck. No corporate badge. Just cold calls made from a quiet house while the clock ticked too loudly on the wall. Some days I questioned everything, but something else had replaced the anger, clarity. I wasn't trying to prove them wrong anymore. I was trying to prove myself right. Then, 12 months later, it happened. One of their key clients, big name, big budget, released an open public tender for an ongoing project. The kind of contract companies fight over behind closed doors. The kind my old company had always been a shoo-in for. This time, it was open. Public. Anyone could bid. I stared at the announcement on my screen. The company logo glowing like a challenge. My heart started pounding. This wasn't just business. This was war. I knew that client inside out. I knew their pain points, their inefficiencies, the frustrations they'd whispered during meetings. I had been the one solving those problems before, so I drafted the proposal. Every sentence sharp, every number precise. I didn't write fluff. I wrote truth. I wrote competence. Late nights returned, but this time it was different. I wasn't building someone else's empire. I was building mine. Word travels fast in small industries. They found out. Apparently, someone forwarded my name from the tender submissions list. My old employer got wind that I was bidding against them, and they panicked. A week later, a thick envelope arrived at my front door. My name printed in bold black letters. A law firm's logo stamped in the corner like a warning. Inside was a cease and desist letter. Legal jargon. polished threats, accusations about confidential information and non-compete clauses. They wanted me to back off. They assumed fear would finish what redundancy started. I sat at my kitchen table, the letter spread out in front of me, hands flat against the wood. The same kitchen table where I had once answered their emails at Christmas. For a moment, doubt crept in. What if they buried me in legal fees? What if I lost everything before it even began? Then I remembered the glass conference room, the blue sky, the cardboard box. They didn't hesitate when they removed me. Why should I hesitate now? I called a lawyer. Not a flashy one, not some corporate shark. Just a sharp, steady professional who listened carefully while I explained everything over the phone. We reviewed the contracts. Line by line, clause by clause, there was no breach. No misuse of confidential data, just skill, experience, and the audacity to compete. My lawyer sent a response, polite, direct, firm. He essentially told them to stick it where the sun doesn't shine, but in very expensive language, silence followed. Weeks passed. The evaluation process dragged on. Emails pinned in my inbox like small electric shocks. Clarification questions, financial breakdowns, implementation timelines. I answered every single one, not emotionally, professionally. Then, one quiet Thursday morning, I received the email. Subject line, tender outcome notification. My hands actually trembled as I clicked it open. After careful consideration, that pause felt eternal. We are pleased to inform you. I exhaled so hard I almost laughed. I won a $1 million contract, $1 million. The same client my old company had always counted on now signed with me. I sat back in my chair and stared at the ceiling, not in anger, not in revenge. In relief, it wasn't about humiliating them. It wasn't about sending screenshots to old colleagues. It was about validation. They thought I was redundant. The market disagreed. Over the next few weeks, I hired my first team member, then another. We worked from a modest office with white walls and second-hand desks. Nothing glamorous, but the energy in that room. It was electric. We weren't building something fragile. We were building something earned. Sometimes I drive past my old office building, the same glass windows, the same corporate logo shining above the entrance. I don't feel rage anymore, just perspective. Being made redundant felt like a door slamming shut in my face. What I didn't realize at the time was that it forced me to build my own door. And this one doesn't need anyone's permission to stay open. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Companies don't love you. They value utility. And that's not evil. It's business. But you are more than your job title, more than your company email address, more than the approval of a boardroom. Sometimes the greatest gift they can give you is rejection, because rejection burns away illusions. It shows you what you're capable of without their safety net. If you're sitting in a quiet room right now, staring at a termination letter, feeling that same tightness in your chest, good. Feel it. Let it sting. Then ask yourself a different question. What would happen if this wasn't the end? What if this was leverage? They moved in a different direction, so I did too. And that direction led me straight to $1 million contract and something far more valuable, freedom. Not the loud, flashy kind, the quiet kind. The kind where no one can call you into a glass conference room and decide your worth ever again. Sometimes payback isn't loud. It's cold, calculated, and signed in ink at the bottom of a contract that used to belong to someone else.